Think about like an agency, you got your team, you have you, and then your clients and everything else. What are some things that we can do to really just make the biggest impact, in your opinion?
When I think about leadership, it's really important to be a good leader and model what you want other people to do. So I think that's really, really important. So we need good leaders in place. I think just having that continuing education on not just insurance itself, but just as human beings being in the world together. So all these things that we're talking about today, send people to trainings and conferences and have them come back and share out what they learned at their conference. It could be an insurance conference, but what else did you learn? I speak at some HR conferences. I don't talk about HR. I talked about growth mindset. And so when people go and they hear a good speaker, have them come back and share out and report back. I think providing mentors to people in the organization, maybe that are new or middle management, find them a really good mentor, either inside the organization or outside the organization. I think just being a strong communicator, conflict management, I could go on and on and on and on. Personal bias, know your bias, understand.
Talk about that.
Personal bias?
Yeah.
Well, we know what we like and what we don't like. We tend to seek out people who agree with us. But what if and most people again don't like conflict, so they don't want to engage in conversations where they might find themselves in a situation where they don't know how to handle conflict. I don't mean like, throwing fists. I just mean like a debate. And so, I know my biases, but I'm still willing to let that person sit across from me and vent to me and just kind of go off on whatever tangent they're going through in that moment. I don't have to agree with them, but I can listen. I can be a really good listener. And usually when people leave my office, they come in with a problem. They do most of the talking. I do a lot of nodding, and then they leave and they're healed. They feel so much better and they have a better outlook. Again, just being open-minded and not agreeing, but having enough respect for that person to let them share what they want to say. You don't have to argue with them. You don't have to try to prove them right or convince them to think your way. You don't.
It seems like women are better at this, right? And I'm curious for the insurance dudes out there, how can we get better at not trying to solve the problem? It's it's all we do all day long. We get home and we hear, oh, my day was ba-ba-da-ba-da, and I boop, 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 all the solutions pop into my head. I'm like, well, that's easy. Just do this, this, and this. Okay. Problem solved. Let me go swimming, and
communication 101, right? But generally speaking, women want to vent, and literally you could sit there and say nothing, but let us vent. If it's 20 or 30 minutes, I'm sorry, you're just going to sit there and shake your head. We don't expect men to solve our problems. Men think we're coming to them because we want them to solve our problems. So what I tell my guy friends, I just need to vent, but I don't need you to fix this. And they just shake their head.
That would be so helpful.
Yeah, I know. I wish that every conversation started like that.
Because sometimes I'll say, wait, do you just need me to listen? Or do you, but then that's a bad question because now it's like, well, you don't know me.
But that's amazing. Asking, just for clarification, do you need me to solve this or can I just be a good ear? And then that lets you off the hook, right? Then you don't have to think about all the ways to fix it. So again, learning the different communication styles of the people that you're with is great. If somebody said, nope, I just want to get this off my chest. You'd be like, okay, great. Go for it.
Craig, I would go with the default of listening. If you have to default to something, just say that must be tough.
There you go. Look at that.
That's the best.
See, when I say that must be tough or, oh, that sure sounds hard, I feel like I'm not being genuine.
Oh, no. I think
it just feels weird coming out.
Well, you're going to feel a lot better in 5 minutes when you're not getting yelled at.
That would feel nice.
So the more you practice saying stuff like that, the more it will feel genuine.
I can see how that would be genuine.
But to her, she's like, whoa, who are you? Like, you actually care about what I'm feeling and thinking? Wow, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So, not fake it till you make it, but practice saying it and it'll become more natural.
It's like a reverse sale, Craig. You have to act like a salesperson. You have to peel the onion. So don't even stop there. Say that must be tough and then ask a question about it.
I don't think she likes the questions. She doesn't want to go deeper. I don't know, maybe.
Well, I think
very challenging.
Just the nonverbal, and I agree, it could be like, ooh, oh yeah, that sounds rough. Like, ugh. I do this with my 17-year-old daughter, and she's, going about her 17-year-old gossip and drama.
Oh boy.
And this one, this, and this one. And I'll be like, oh, wow, that was very nice of her, was it? Like, oh my gosh, wow, that sucks. And I'm just like agreeing with her. And again, she walks away, she's all better. I didn't have to solve anything.
That's awesome. Wow. And then she also didn't lock her door saying you can't come in.
Right. It encourages communication because she knows I'm not going to judge her, or, well, why didn't you say this? Or why didn't you say that? Which, trust me, I want to give her advice. But like,
yeah, there's so many better things than the way that it's being done. Like I see so many inefficiencies. That's why I try to solve it.
No, not your job. Your job is to listen in that moment. If she comes to you and says, can you help me figure this out? Great. Now there's your cue. Otherwise, it's just active listening.
Is there anything we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
We've talked about a lot. This has been a really good conversation.
It's been great.
I think, as we're approaching some crazy times, social media is accountable for 29% of civil discourse. In terms that we can be, if we're behind a screen and nobody can see us, would you say that same thing to somebody's face, like we talked about earlier? So if you wouldn't say it to their face, then don't say it behind their back, or don't say it on social media, because that's a big culprit of people just not being very civil to each other. Yeah. And I'm all about, peace and harmony, and let's just all get along and work together. And at the end of the day, we can go home and not think about it. But when we're together, we have to be the best version of ourselves that we can be.